Tampon King gets back in the ring. I speak of former VP nominee Tim Walz. He joined Beto O'Rourke at a Texas town hall last night, and the estrogen levels were enough to give Chuck Norris menstrual cramps.
But I think that, but I can't get past the core fact about Walz, which is he presided over, allowed the biggest city in the state to get burned down.
And seemed to not only allow it, but kind of
he liked it.
Support it, you know?
Did you see the video of his wife saying, I kept the windows open so I could smell the burning rubber from the riots?
I did not see that.
Wow. The wife whose hand he shook.
Oh, my God. By the way, I mean, I know it's picking on a little thing, but who the hell shakes their wife's...
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're getting right to the point today with a juicy political roast that has everyone talking. It's like lighting a match in a room full of fireworks when Tucker Carlson and Greg Gutfeld are in the same room and ranting about Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. That's why I say buzzing.
So I'm the law-abiding grandma that was sentenced to 90 days in jail for opening my business during the shutdowns as a peaceful protest when Minnesota Governor Tim Walz unconstitutionally and illegally shut our businesses down. So my question is, if you were in my situation, would you have done the same thing, or what would you have done?
Well, I flatter myself by imagining I would have done the same thing.
Governor Walz is now somewhat of a hot topic, and not always for the best reasons.
Dude, you're an old white guy. And you're right, you are a huge disappointment. I guess hating himself is the first thing he's nailed correctly. Because Walz saying old white men suck isn't a political stance. It's his confession. Walz calling people old and white is like Maxine Waters making fun of someone for shopping at Wigs or...
Do you recall Minnesota's pandemic chaos and those riots? Indeed, his management wasn't exactly a leadership masterclass. Would you agree his detractors are? Pointing fingers at him on everything from economic choices to public safety, and it's difficult to ignore them. The way Walz appeared to, well, stumble through these difficulties like a juggler with too many balls in the air is what infuriates people.
Wait, you lost because you weren't woke enough? That's like telling Joy Behar he's not eating enough Doritos. That's like Jasmine Crockett saying, I gotta black this up. That's like Bud Light saying, hey, you know what? We could use more Dylan Mulvaney.
You will be in stitches and possibly shaking your head in shock after reading Gutfeld and Carlson's interpretation of this, which is full of witty and razor-sharp sarcasm. Inquisitive or furious? Remain. We depend on your subscription to stay afloat and provide you with more content. Don't miss a beat and subscribe if you like a good roast. You won't ever miss a moment of the action, and it means a lot to us. Alright, are you prepared to dive in? Now, let's get right into the Gutfeld and Carlson show, which is a direct, unrestrained criticism, some might even say a passionate dissection of Governor Tim Walz's leadership, particularly during those pivotal moments like the pandemic and the riots. Greg Gutfeld, who is renowned for his incisive wit, and Tucker Carlson, who was known for his insightful analysis, truly didn't hold back.
I think more than 100 of these boards in Minnesota. Most of them are voluntary boards. So he was appointed to that board by Governor Mark Dayton, a Democrat, and reappointed by Walz. That expired in 2023. So it is unclear if they ever knew each other. They were on the interesting, Senator Hoffman and Vance Belter were on the same board together. So you would think that they somehow knew each other.
How did a 7-Eleven manager / mortuary remains disposal guy wind up on a governor-appointed board?
Their strategy: mix witty banter with sobering facts.
5 years ago this summer, George Floyd, a convicted felon, OD'd on fentanyl outside a convenience store in Minneapolis, and the country changed forever. 5 years later, Tim Walz is still the governor. Keith Ellison is still the attorney general. The cops who were falsely convicted of murdering George Floyd are mostly still in prison. But what happened in Minneapolis itself? Well, it's been wrecked. And no one has said a word about it. But I just wonder about this story in particular. Did he have contact with Walz? Do we know that Walz said, I met this guy ever?
Well, this is what's interesting. We know that he served on a board appointed by Walz. However, I'll say that...
what kind of board was it?
It was a workforce development board.
And trust me, they delivered both in spades.
One of them, Politico says, is like Walz's wide eyes showed his passion and emotional intensity. Can we show that? There is his wide eye. That humans would widen their eyes to convey that danger is close. What emotion are you getting from that? Sorry.
And they delivered both in spades, I assure you.
Anniversary. They were married 5 years after Tiananmen Square, and he picked that date because it was a date that they would remember, he and his wife.
What?
Who does that?
Tiananmen Square?
Correct.
The tank crushing the lone protester? That's
their wedding anniversary. And they went to China for their honeymoon.
Come on. You're sure he picked the anniversary?
They've talked about this in interviews. Yeah, this is in newspapers.
But Tiananmen Square was a massacre of peaceful protesters.
I know.
Do you think they picked it to in the memory of those brave souls who died opposing the machine?
They haven't said that.
Much.
Public safety, or the fight for it, comes first. Many people thought that during the chaos in Minnesota, it felt more like someone trying to herd cats than like leadership.
People misreading Tim's odd greeting. The man of the hour, Tim Walz, brings us our second video of the day, and he's got a very weird way of greeting his wife of 30 years. Roll it.
Main streets began to resemble abandoned towns, with businesses boarded up and communities struggling. Gutfeld and Carlson didn't just offer light criticism, they argued that Walz's policies had real consequences for livelihoods and opportunity. Gutfeld voiced the frustrations of everyday Minnesotans who felt ignored, while Carlson pointed to hard data showing economic decline and job losses. Gutfeld even joked that trying to grow the economy under Walz was like planting a tree in a desert. Education became another major focus. Carlson highlighted how distance learning added strain to an already struggling public system, while Gutfeld described the situation as a clown car of policy failures, leaving families and teachers confused and unsupported. Though they used humor and sharp commentary, both acknowledged the challenges of leading during a pandemic and civil unrest. Still, they stressed that tough times demand strong leadership and accountability. So, what's your take? Have Gutfeld and Carlson fairly criticized Tim Walz, or have they taken it too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think and start a real conversation.